Hello, I'm Paul Cook from 680 News. Welcome to another edition of Agenda. Today on the program, Spirit, Canada's only First Nations arts and culture magazine. We'll find out about some possible long-term risks that tattoos may present. We'll talk about the GIC horror show, how safe are your investments? We'll learn about why girls need guides in a media-saturated society. Also on the program, Geek Your Ride. We'll discuss the future of in-cartainment. And AIDS Picture Change. One of Canada's top photographers shares with us the photos he captured on the global struggle against HIV/AIDS. All of this coming up on Agenda. We all have role models, actors, musicians, athletes, even interior decorators, people we may have seen on TV or read about in books and magazines. It is with this in mind that Spirit magazine was created, Canada's only First Nations arts and culture magazine. Spirit is dedicated to expose emerging and established First Nations artists, providing a new generation with role models who capture the essence of Aboriginal, contemporary, and traditional art. Joining me in studio to tell us about the magazine and how it's faring is Lisa Charlieboy, the contributing arts editor of Spirit. Welcome to Agenda.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
How significant is this magazine to the Aboriginal community?
It's extremely significant because the Aboriginal community is so isolated all throughout Canada, so there's not a lot of outreach to the Aboriginals in the smaller communities.
And what role does it play for them?
Oh, it's a way for especially youth and young people and people to have role models to look up to, Aboriginal role models that are successful and, you know, creating careers and creating a strong role model for them to look up to in diverse areas in music and in literature and television and acting and.
Well, some of the magazine covers are pretty hip looking, so
Yes.
you can see that maybe there is a real effort to target youth. How important is that to go after young people?
Very important, because that's the time period that they really need to have strong role models in their life, just as every youth person needs that, so that they can look forward to, say, you know, acting can be a reality, and being a musician can be a reality, and being an academic can be a reality, and so that they have someone to look up to and know that, you know, they can do whatever they want.
Tell me about the significance of the name of the magazine, Spirit.
Spirit, well, it's all in Aboriginal cultures. There is a history of having a spiritual world and a physical world meld, and this is about bringing forth the spiritual nature of oneself and realizing it in our physical world.
How long has the magazine been around?
3 years.
3 years? And what has your involvement been?
I'm a contributing arts editor and have been since the beginning of this year, and that's for the upcoming issue that will be coming out soon for arts.
And where is the magazine distributed?
In Chapters in Indigo. There's also available in what we call res stores, so stores that are available on reservations throughout Canada.
So it is distributed throughout the country then?
Yes.
And into remote areas as well?
Yes.
And what does the magazine mean to you personally?
Personally, I first came across the magazine while I was living in British Columbia and was feeling a little isolated myself and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and had also had a division between myself and my culture as a Native person in Canada, and to see the magazine initially and to see all of these great people that are doing so well, and to have these great role models was a real turning point in my life, and to push me forward and propel me forward to do better so that I can become a role model for other people.
Tell me about that division that you had with...
Well, I grew up in suburban Vancouver, so I didn't really grow up near my reservation or my family, and there was always a extrication from my culture, so it was a good way for me to create an identity with Aboriginal culture and to regain that culture and that pride in my culture.
Tell me about some of the people you've profiled in the magazine.
Well, for the last issue, I interviewed Daphne Ojig. She's a founder in Canadian Native art and has been collected all over the world. Jane Nash Poitras, she was the painter, a very famous Canadian painter, and she created the cover, an original cover for the last Spirit magazine. Also for the music issue, we had Tanya Tagak-Gilis. She's an Inuit throat singer. So there's been a number of people who have gained international notoriety.
So what sort of topics? Is it just absolutely everything, or is it mostly arts focused? Or?
Arts and culture, so there's
Yeah.
different themes that are presented. The newest issue that will be coming out is an arts theme. The last one was music. It was our second music issue. We will be doing a film issue, and we've also had an issue that was based on bloodlines, and so there's some sort of cultural identity themes also present.
What kind of feedback are you getting from young people?
Everyone is excited about it, to see people all over, not only Canadian Aboriginals, but also Native American, and we feature people from New Zealand and Australia sometimes. So they're excited to see so many great people that are out and creating success with their lives, and they feel that they have hope and they have dreams, and that there are people there who are showing them the way and paving the way so that their journey will be much easier.
So there is some international reach with it then?
Yes, we do. We do definitely, especially with there's no distribution in the United States right now, but there are a lot of United States Native Americans that are featured in the magazine.
What are the greatest challenges you have in putting together a magazine like this? Because it isn't something that is targeted to the mainstream. It's not going to be a commercial success, is it? Or maybe it is. Maybe you are finding that it's making some money.
I think that distribution has been a challenge up to now, and that but it's more about creating a community and creating an environment. It's not about being a commercial venture. It's about spirit.
Mm-hmm. Is it important to make some money, or is it? How are you funded?
Of course, it's important to make some money. There is the Canada Council of the Arts that is behind us, and so there is some leeway that we have with that.
Now, if anybody wants to get involved in the magazine, how do they go about doing that?
They can visit the website at www.spiritmag.ca, and under the contact link, they can email the editor. And if they have any writing or photography, or if they're an artist themselves, or they're interested in subscribing.
Could be another you in the works, right?
Exactly.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us about Spirit. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're speaking with Lisa Charlie Boy, contributing arts editor of Spirit. Up next, tattoos and health risks. You're watching Agenda.